you. When I hear the description about Culch, I must tell you that as I assumed, again, the privilege of this interim post, I've received several repeated emails about two specific topics. The first one was, when are you going to bring Culch back? And the other one, far less delicate, is, how in the heck did you get the beer smell out of the walls of the bill? And now it is my pleasure to present the Young Alumni Award to Larry Handerhan, class of 2005, on behalf of the college and the Alumni Association. Larry, established in 1987, this award is presented to a Bates graduate of no more than 15 years from the point of graduation for exceptional volunteer service to the college and distinction in his or her early career. I am pleased to present this award to you on behalf of the college, its faculty, staff, students, and alumni. Larry Handerhan graduated from Bates in 2005, cum laude with honors, with a Bachelor of Arts degree in history. Larry then pursued his master's in public administration at the distinguished Woodrow Wilson School of Public and International Affairs at Princeton University. While at Bates, he was an energetic leader who served the Student Government Association, the Office of Admission, the Senior Gift Committee, and was active in both Out Front and the Robinson Players. After graduation from Princeton, Larry joined the AmeriCorps to work on the Gulf Coast after Hurricane Katrina. The needs were great, and you were there. He then moved to San Francisco, where he accepted a position from then Mayor Gavin Newsom and worked for the state's Democratic Party. This work eventually led him back to the East Coast, to Washington, D.C. Larry's commitment to Bates is exemplified through his ongoing involvement with Bates. He's been an active member of the Washington, D.C. Bates Professional Network, was elected to the Alumni Council and to College Key, and co-chaired his class of 2005 fifth reunion. In 2010, Larry started Bates Pride, a network of gay and lesbian, bisexual, and transgendered alumni and allies dedicated to supporting students on campus, providing LGBT-centric programming and helping to elevate the voice of our gay and lesbian alumni and their allies. As an Alumni Council member, Larry mentors other Bates alumni in gaining momentum for national outreach and helps to build bridges between student groups and alumni across the country. An engaged and vital member of the Alumni Council, and he too has been in meetings all weekend in that effort, Larry has been a catalyst for better outreach to alumni and increased connections to bring alumni who had not been involved in the life of the college back into the fold. Larry, you are a valued leader of us as a Bates alumni college community. We are very grateful for your time and your talent and the energy you have literally poured into connecting our students and alumni geographically and around events, reunions, and affinities. We also know that you have only just begun your very promising professional career, and we look forward to your ongoing leadership on behalf of Bates for years to come. We are proud to claim you in the Bates family and to present you with the Alumni Council's 2011 Distinguished Young Alumni Award. Congratulations, Larry.
I live in a dorm room. I don't even know where to put this. Thank you, President Cable, so much. I think anyone who has seen you speak on campus in the past couple months would say that it's a really exciting time to be involved in this community, and I think you're a big part of that and really look forward to seeing what the next year brings. Wow, you're a hard act to follow, Alan. Being recognized in this way is really humbling for a lot of reasons, and I think I want to start by saying to get this honor from the Alumni Council, who I consider my peers now, this is a new thing, I've been on the council for about a year, something really special, and they've taught me something that I found actually completely surprising, which is that the Bates experience really improves with age, And you can learn so much more after you leave this campus about what you learned here and about what you can and kind of wish you had learned or are still learning. So thank you so much. It's an incredibly dynamic group, and I feel very, very, very lucky to be a part of it. Those who know me, a number of people at this table in particular, know that I relish the opportunity to thank an institution that's given me so much. And every stranger in the room, there are a couple here, who had the unfortunate luck of asking me where I went to undergrad, would know that it's perfectly normal for me to launch into an alarmingly well-prepared elucidation of why Bates is the finest academic institution in the US and probably the world. That's not practical tonight, not least of which for the reason that my mother is here from Boston with my father and she has an early bedtime. So I will try to honor the very wise words of Shakespeare, brevity is the soul of wit. In that vein, I just wanted to share 3 very brief anecdotes that I think simultaneously answer the question of why I love Bates and also what compels me to stay involved as a young alumni. And I think in recognition that we're in the great state of Maine, I think it makes sense to couch these remarks as Bates the way life should be. So the first one is embracing the Bates hello. As Batesians know, this is the phenomenon when 2 people on the Bates campus pass each other, and regardless if they know each other, they say a greeting. Sometimes it's a head nod, sometimes it's literally hello. Off campus, this is totally creepy. This does not happen in the real world. And so I'm not saying that this is necessarily something I would like, the congressman in Washington to do, but I have felt the transformative power of such an acknowledgement in a space where I legitimately didn't know anyone. And I think there's an automatic legitimacy that you give to someone when you give them the benefit of the doubt that there's someone you might want to acknowledge. The second thing, quantifying the unquantifiables. This is something that Bates professors ask you to do literally every semester you're on campus. But I think the institution sends a very clear message by not requiring SAT scores. This is something that really struck me in my college search. I'm not sure if my parents remember this, but it had a long-lasting impact on me. They saw a metric that they didn't think was working, they threw it out, and replaced it with a more nuanced one. And when you look around this room, and when you've had the relationships that people in this room have had because of this place, you know that without a doubt, they did a good job. And I think that this has pretty immense implications on higher education policy, but I think it's probably more applicable to life in general, for those of us who are not in that field, about valuing creativity, valuing balance, challenging things that don't work, and really looking at the substance behind the superficial. And the third thing that I would say I wish the world could be more like Bates in this way, is that teachers and preachers can still have fun. So teachers and preachers, as alums know, is kind of the moniker that we've given our alumni community and our students, because there are so many people who go into education, there are so many people who go into activism, there are so many people who go into some sort of teaching and knowledge-sharing profession, that maybe they don't have the time to give back in the way our peer institutions have, because they're too busy helping people. And to some extent, I think that's really true. I think you come out of this education as both an activist and a public servant, and those are things that I think this place turned me into. Equally as important, and I think something that's benefited me in my professional, very, very young professional career, is learning that caring passionately about something does not mean you have to always be serious. It does not mean that you have to take challenges personally. And often, the best way to enact change, the best way to improve your community, as I'm sure Alan has taught many people how to do, is to have a drink with someone, have a cup of coffee with someone. And that's something that I think Bates really taught me, that you can have ideals that you stand by, but not take them so seriously that they impede your work or overcome your relationship. So I really thank Bates for I'm kind of a teacher and a preacher, but I'm going to go to Grady's after this and have a beer, and it's going to be really one of the best parts of my day. So now on to thanks, because I think everyone my age is a work in progress. And so I'm so lucky to be surrounded by really amazing people. So the Alumni Council, as I mentioned, Tanya Schwartz, class of 2004, who nominated me for this award. My favorite professor from Bates, Homar Jensen, and his wife, Phyllis Graber Jensen, who have been really big impact to my community here. In absentia, other faculty members, Joe Hall and Rebecca Herzig, who, the talent in these people is just unbelievable. And also the Bates staff, which is something that I know my class just was so wowed by. So some of them are here. Aislinn Houghton, a former staff member who has helped me on a couple projects, including Bates Pride, Amy Arsenault, Marianne Cowan, who's head of the Alumni and Parent Relations Office, and really her entire staff. It's incredible. I mean, these people are my friends, and I feel bad when I'm like, oh, I really need this thing from you. Can you do this? And also, how's your day? And then, you know, really, I think probably most formatively, my parents, who came up all the way from Boston, who in some ways I think exemplify everything this community exemplifies. And they're not Batesies, but they're kind of honorary Batesies. And my family's been through a number of trials. Oh, man. And they've really been rocks in my life. Even at 28, you know, I'm very proud to say that. And then finally, this actually is, you set me up so well, thank you. The recognition that this award is really a down payment. It's kind of like saying, yeah, you've done a pretty good job so far, and keep doing it. And so I wanted to say that the joke's on you. You can't get rid of me, no matter what you do. And my relationship with this community is definitely a lifelong endeavor, and I get so much more out of it than I put in. So thank you all very much, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Larry, we are so proud of you, and go easy on your beers at Gritty's tonight, okay? Well, I'm tempted to apologize for the heat, but I think the best story to tell you about the heat that we're experiencing, I know it feels like July at Bates, right, is I've heard tell of some folklore that not so long ago, my predecessor, Elaine Hansen, got a call from a parent of a Tufts basketball player criticizing her for turning up the heat so that Bates would win the basketball game. So we purposely don't air condition this room because it's our secret weapon in the NESCAC. It's my great pleasure to introduce for our next speaker, Kevin McHugh, our athletic director, my colleague and my friend. Kevin.